Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Media Pulse, the show where we help you make sense of Thai politics.
Right, คุณแพทองทานชินวัตร the Prime Minister has been in office 3 weeks now.
Yes.
But of course, it's too early to pass any judgment on her performance. I mean, she has her admirers, her supporters, and lots of them out there who believe that she has done not too bad a job, given her youth and her lack of governance experience. So they believe that she needs time, and they believe that she will sooner or later grow into the job.
Well, as well as the fans, she's got her fans and she's got her critics as well. And the critics are yet to be convinced in terms of her ability to demonstrate the leadership, especially being able to lead independently.
Okay. If you look at the clip on the screen right now, this has become a common sight. Paetongtarn being seen accompanied by an army of advisors, cabinet members, and helpers. And these are taken by her critic as showing that she still lacks the confidence in being independently addressing issues that would be raised by journalists, on her own.
Yeah, it can be perceived that way, but it's nice to be among friends, instead of walking alone, standing alone. But anyway, the critics have been saying as well that judging from how she often struggles to answer questions, she needs them to be there.
Yeah. That's right, because the question is whether she can really have a full grasp of even basic issues that a political leader is supposed to be able to address, right? And the fact that she always seen flanked by several senior cabinet members as shown in the picture, especially during the press briefings, is also seen as a sign of a lack of confidence. And doesn't help that her roundabout way of answering questions and certainly add to that kind of a criticism that she's not ready for the job. Yeah.
And of course her habit of reading from the scripts, like she's always got her iPad in front of her during most of her meeting and media appearances, give the impression that she knows only how to recite what's written on the pages.
I always have this question. As the Prime Minister, she has to sit at the head of the table of the weekly cabinet meetings, right? And she has presided at least 3 cabinet meetings so far, right? So the question is how she performs during those meetings, whether she still need to consult the people besides her and her notes or not. And so I did some checking with a number of insiders in the government house, and this is what they told me, that they said that even while conducting the weekly cabinet meetings, the Prime Minister, Kun Paetongtarn, cannot part with her scripts.
You mean her iPad?
And this is what one of the sources told me, that I can tell you she needs to have her eyes on her iPad all the time during those meetings.
การให้มีการบูรณาการทุกส่วนให้แป๊บนึงนะคะโทษทีให้รายงานต่อสปช.ส่วนหน้าในช่วงเช้า 10 โมงและช่วงบ่าย 3 เพื่อเป็นการติดตามสถานการณ์
The screen is too small.
Definitely. And this has gone viral over the past few days. And of course, her supporters, her admirers would argue that it's very common for people to consult their iPads or their
Exactly,
phones.
because we're glued to our phones these days, right? Yeah, but to be fair to her, Paetongtarn did have some moments internationally too. So this week, she debuted on the international stage at Doha. So we're talking about the Asian Cooperation Dialogue Summit, Forum, meeting, whatever that is.
But I'm sure many people must be wondering why she chose to be in Doha instead of being in New York for the annual UN General Assembly, because the UN event should give her a much bigger profile, right?
True, yes.
Bigger exposure.
Yes, because all the world leaders will be at the UN, but she chose to be in Doha.
Okay. I think the point is that, and that is something that the Thai media have been reporting on a lot, that because ACD, the Asian Cooperation Dialogue, was a brainchild of her father, Kun Thaksin. Kun Thaksin initiated the forum back in 2002 when he was Prime Minister. So ACD is a Pan-Asian Cooperation and Policy Dialogue Forum aimed at promoting understanding, mutual trust and interest among Asian countries. And of course, if you look back, the forum back then did a lot to help raise Kun Thaksin's regional profile. And it should not be a surprise if Kun Thaksin would want the forum in Doha this year to shine a spotlight on his daughter, who is supposed to be hosting next year's meeting of ACD in Bangkok.
Okay.
So that will be another big test of her leadership.
So it's just practice this time. So let's go briefly into her speech at the ACD Forum this year. So Prime Minister Paetongtarn outlined Thailand's vision for advancing regional cooperation and promoting the Asian Century agenda. So that focuses on fostering collaboration among member countries and utilizing platforms like sports diplomacy to bridge cultural differences and strengthen international relationships.
All right. Now, why the media or critics in the media continue to question her ability to lead or to govern? The Time magazine seems to have a different idea about her, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. So she was named as one of Time 100 Next. So that's good news, actually.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So it's an annual list that is published by the Time magazine, and it highlights 100 emerging leaders across various fields. So that includes things like business, entertainment, politics, technology, and more. And the list aims to showcase individuals who are shaping the future and making significant impacts in their respective areas.
Her supporters, of course, were quick to trumpet the recognition given her by such international news, renowned news magazine as Time, right? But social media has also been full of questions as to why only just 3 weeks in office, she's already being seen by the magazine as a leader most likely to succeed.
Well, you know what, making the list is one thing, but if you go into the details of what Time wrote on their website, I'm going to read an excerpt of it from Time magazine. So it says, her rise wasn't exactly a shock. Paetongtarn is the youngest daughter of Thaksin Shinawat, a billionaire media mogul who was elected prime minister in 2001, only to be deposed 5 years later. Since then, Paetongtarn's aunt and uncle have also held Thailand's top job, only to be toppled by judicial and military interventions. So that's what Time says.
But of course, Kun Paetongtarn is not the first Thai politician to be in the prestigious list. Last year, it was Pita Limcharan, leader of the now defunct Move Forward Party. And back in 2019, it was Thanathornจึงรุ่งเรืองกิจ, leader of the also now defunct Future Forward Party, the predecessor of the Move Forward Party.
Right.
But there need to be one reminder for Kun Paetongtarn, and the reminder is that being named in the Time 100 Next list is no guarantee of political longevity.
Yeah, there's no linkage there whatsoever between being in office and making the Time list. No.
If you look back, because shortly after appearing in the list, Kun Thanathorn was disqualified as an MP by the Constitutional Court for violating the election law by holding shares in a media company. And a few months later, he was slapped with a 10-year political ban and saw his Future Forward Party dissolved.
And Thanathorn's political successor, Kun Pita, also suffered a similar fate. So the party he led, the Move Forward, was dissolved by the Constitutional Court in August this year, and he himself is banned from politics for 10 years.
All right. So in case you may be wondering what Kun Pita is up to these days, the man who last year was only a step away from becoming Thailand's Prime Minister, right, is now busy adjusting himself in his new academic role as a visiting democracy fellow at Harvard.
Which is a very prestigious university, yes. So talking about the ACD, and we talked about the Time 100 Next list, that definitely boosted it will contribute to Prime Minister Paetongtarn's popularity.
Definitely. She has already been given a big boost in her popularity with the successful launch of her government's cash handout project, right? And her recent visit to the north to console the flood victims. And these two events are certainly seen as a big factors that have contributed to her sudden rise in her popularity.
And if we compare the numbers, we have the numbers from June this year and now. So her popularity rate, this is conducted by NIDA, and it's gone up quite a lot now, but in the 30% now.
So she can expect another big boost in her popularity with the ACD appearance and with the Time magazine's choice as a leader most likely to succeed.
Yes, and speaking of numbers, we do have something about numbers. This is to do with statistics still. Remember last week we talked about an MP who made headlines for just going to work.
Yeah, and not another ordinary MP that we are talking about, right?
Yeah, so we're talking about General Prawit Wongsuwan. His absentee statistics last week was 84 out of 95. So he missed 84 out of 95 meetings in 3 months. And when he showed up to parliamentary meetings last week, he made headlines. But he I don't know, maybe this is his response basically. He said, I will attend house meetings when I have no other obligations. Because
this is very ridiculous because the most basic primary obligation of an MP is to attend house meetings, to debate and pass laws, right?
Yeah.
But Kun Prawit is taking his attendance at house meeting as an exception. He will go there only when he has the time, when he's not preoccupied with any other businesses.
He didn't say what other obligations are. And to show that he acknowledges the fact that people are not happy about him not showing up, he said this week that he will give back all of his MP salary and will not accept any more salary as an MP. That's what he said.
But he seems to be suggesting that he can compensate for his absence from the House meeting by not drawing the salary or any infringement if it's as an MP.
Yeah, and the media was quick to pick up on this comment by his critic, Kun Phompong Noparit. This is from Thai Rat as well. So Kun Phompong says, I would like to remind General Prawit that if you return the money, that means the offense is substantiated. And we have the quote from the other side as well. So this is from Nao Na, and it quotes Kun Phaiboon Nititawan from Palang Pracharat Party, who explained that General Prawit giving the salary back would serve as a good example to other MPs who have many obligations and might have to miss the meetings. And there's more. He said that General Prawit will attend more parliamentary meetings, but has submitted a leave request for the meeting on 3rd October because he has a very important obligation to attend to.
It looks like Kun Prawit is trying to make his house meetings attendance, a great service for the country.
I know. So he said he's going to attend more, but by the way, I have submitted a leave from this week's meeting.
No, by the way, as we mentioned earlier, that Kun Prawit is concurrently chairman of the National Olympics Committee of Thailand. So that has always been his excuse for missing the house meetings.
On sports.
And remember that there was one day when he was absent from the house meeting.
Yeah.
And he was caught watching a volleyball match at home.
Oh, okay.
And his excuse was that he's a chairman of the Olympics Committee, so he has to watch a very important match.
Is the Olympic Committee paying more? We don't know. We haven't checked.
All right. Anyway, okay.
That was,
Okay. 2 weeks ago, Clare, we talked about this brouhaha over a very controversial book written by a well-known international affairs expert at Chulalongkorn University. The book scrutinizes the role of the military that the authors see as overreaching and that often interferes with civilians' affairs.
The book with a very intriguing title says Infiltrating Society, the Thai Military's Internal Security Affairs. Yeah, so the book launch, okay, so there was back and forth in terms of the venue last week. So they settled on back at Chulalongkorn University, right?
First, the university administration said they were not ready to host the book launch. But later on, I mean, they changed their mind and allowed the launch to be held on the campus.
Yes.
And the launch of the book, written by Dr. Paetongtarn, was widely covered by the media, which, by the way, had anticipated some kind of a heavy presence of security people who were unhappy with its contents. But anyway, the book launch proceeded smoothly without any interference.
Yeah.
And the event somehow turned into a forum for criticizing the military.
Yes, well, first of all, the threat by the ISOC, the Internal Security Operations Command, that they were going to ban the book before, gave it free publicity. People are so interested in it, the media was interested in it, and then the launch became a forum, like you said. So this is the Facebook Live we got from Phá Điêu Can or Same Sky Books, which is the publisher of the book in question.
So the reason that the books so infuriated the security agency is because it deals largely with what its author see as attempts and activities by the Thai military to indoctrinate people to accept its role in politics and its dominant role in the society.
Yeah, and according to the book, the so-called infiltration by the military includes projects that like the expansion of its political domain into civil society. That's what it was trying to say, the book.
Yeah, and drawing spiritual attention from the media was one of the speakers at the book launch. And Kun Thanathornจึng Rungrungkit, leader of the now defunct Future Forward Party,
Yes.
and a staunch critic of the military. Kun Thanathorn, of course, was full of praise for the book, which he said helps enlighten readers on the role of the military. And he pointed out a string of activities and projects undertaken by various military units that have nothing to do with security and should be considered outside the domain of the military. Right? And they include training courses on self-sufficient economies, water resource development, managing commuter vans, and enforcing regulations on beach vending.
Depends on how you define security as well. So that isn't it? I mean, it depends on the definition of security in order to formulate the project. But anyway, Kun Thanathorn said that his own personal experience as a politician only reinforces that what the book said is relevant about how the military have interfered in civilian affairs in the name of national security.
That's right.
That's
and
what he said.
he singled out ISOC, the Internal Security Operation Command, for its overreaching role and its lack of accountability in budget spending. And the author of the book, Dr. Paetongtarn, took the opportunity to defend again the contents of the book, which he insisted was well researched and based on verified information. And she said ISOC's strong reaction to her book has brought back a climate of fear. And she noted that Prime Minister Paetongtarn, in her capacity as director of ISOC, needs to make her stand clear on this issue. And this is what Dr. Paetongtarn said about Kun Paetongtarn, the Prime Minister. She said, Kun Paetongtarn might not have been aware of what ISOC was doing from the beginning, right? Yeah. But by now, she cannot pretend not to know what is happening.
Well, she has yet to speak on this issue.
It's true.
Yeah.
And she might have forgotten that, that means Kun Paetongtarn, might have forgotten that as Prime Minister, she is also in charge of ISOC, the country's lead security agency.
Yeah, true. So a bit of a background for those of you who are not familiar with ISOC. So it's a legacy of the Cold War. Right? It was founded in the 60s was it, by the army, and that was to combat the spread of communism, which was then considered the biggest threat to Thailand's national security. So that was how it was founded.
Dr. Paetongtarn noted that she believed that one of the reasons why ISOC was so infuriated by her book was also due to the fact that there have been calls by some political parties for ISOC to be dissolved because these parties believe that ISOC is no longer needed. It has served its purpose, and in today's world, when ISOC is not a necessary agency anymore.
That's what she says, including Kun Thanathorn is one of the critics who've been calling for ISOC to be dissolved as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Kun Clare, we should end the program with some kind of
okay.
positive note, right?
On a lighter note, we're going to talk about fashion to end the show. So it's not very often that Thailand has a female prime minister, right? And so apart from work, obviously, people would be looking at the fashion. And since Prime Minister Paetongtarn was tipped to become the prime minister, people are watching her very closely, especially what she wears and stuff like that. So netizens are very keen. According to a TikTok account, a fan account, before becoming PM, she was seen wearing a mixture of global brands. So fans even posted OOTD. You know, OOTD is outfit of the day. So for people who likes her style, they can follow what she wears. So that's the purpose of the OOTD. So on occasion, we would see her wearing Thai fabrics too. Remember, she was once the chairperson of the Committee on Soft Power, and Thai designs are what she was promoting at that time. So we've got a mixture of global brands, brand names like really chic fashion, and Thai fabrics. But now she is seen wearing more Thai fabrics and local designers. Like in these clips, she's wearing tailored items made from Thai fabrics. You can tell because of the unique pattern, and it's Thai silk, which is beautiful. And recently, she went to the government house, went to work, and she was asked by reporters about her outfit of the day. And she replied, "My pants today are made of normal cotton. I bought it off TikTok shop, and I ordered 3 of them, and I'm planning to wear them later." So as we all know, TikTok is known for their affordability, like all the shops there are very affordable. So this is quite a drastic change, like luxury brands to TikTok shop.
Don't forget that she's one of the drivers of the so-called soft power of Thailand, right? And she believed that the Thai textiles, is considered to be one of the elements of Thai soft power, and that's why she's intentionally, dressing up in this manner as part of her attempts to highlight what she thinks that need to be promoted.
One caveat though, TikTok sellers are known for very cheap, mass-produced products, and there's no disclosure of the country of origin in which it was produced. So we don't know. Maybe she's supporting other countries' economy. I don't know.
Chinese-made Thai-style dresses, right?
I hope not. I hope not. It looks Thai though, so I think it's from Thailand. Very chic.
Okay. All right.
So that's it.
All right.
So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the program, and we'll come back with more from Thai politics and the headlines next Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Okay. So see you then.
Bye bye.